First off, we've got the skull, which is protection against the head and the brain. We've got the clavicle, which is commonly known as the collarbone. Scapula, commonly known as the shoulder blade. Your humerus, which is the upper part of your arm. The radius in the lower part, and that's the bone that attaches to the thumb. And the ulna is the other bone part of the lower arm. Your hand is composed of your carpals, which is your wrist, your metacarpals, your knuckles, and your phalanges, which are your fingers. The bottom half of your body starts off with your pelvis, also known as your hips, and then goes on to your femur, which is the biggest bone in your body and is also known as your thigh bone. You then go down to the patella, which is also the kneecaps. We then go on to the tibia, which is the front bone on your lower leg, also known as your shins. Then the fibula, which is the bone at the back of the leg. In the feet, we have the tarsals, the metatarsals, and the phalanges, which is shown in this picture. There are three main types of joints in the body. Number one, the fibrous joint, which is tightly joined and has no movement. The second type of joint is the cartilaginous joint. They are held together by cartilage, have articular surfaces of bone, and they are only slightly movable. The last type of joint in the body is the synovial joints. They are the most common in the body. They're freely movable, covered in a capsule, and they are in synovial fluid. Here are some examples of synovial joints. The hinge joint, movement in one direction only. Ball and socket joint, multi-axial movement. The pivot, which is the rotational movement. Congoloid, movement in one plane only. Saddle, movement in multiple planes. Functions of the skeleton. Number one, support. It's the framework of the body. Number two, protection. It protects internal organs, reducing the risk of injury. Number three, assisting in movement. The skeletal muscle attaches to the bone, which causes the bone to move. Number four, storage of minerals, e.g. calcium or phosphorus, and releases minerals into the blood. Number five, production of blood cells, red bone marrow in the larger bones. Number six, storage of chemical energy. The human skeleton is composed of 206 bones. The body has the axial bones, which include the skull, the rib cage, and the spine, and the appendicular bones, which include the arms, the pelvis, and the legs. It's also divided into the head, the torso, and the limbs. The head includes the jaw and the skull. The torso includes the rib cage, shoulder blades, and the spine, and the limbs include the arms, legs, the pelvis bones, the fingers, and the toes.